violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, in school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. So guys, I have to do this story. No news videos on this one, so it's gonna be a lot of reading. So let me wet my palate. Pause. All right. This one's crazy. We have an Augusta double murder, and Augusta is the same place where Aubrey Anthony, the 8-year-old girl, was shot in the drive-by shooting by that super gremlin. Same place. Obviously, this brother right here, Tarrez Booker, he's got indicators of demon time. The neck tattoos going all the way up to his ears. Augusta double murder suspect kills himself as deputies swarm hotel. So he's out of here. He's out of here, okay? He did it to himself. And this one is it's crazy to me because he's my age, 26-year-old super gremlin. And he gets himself into a heap of trouble. So anyways, let's get into it. The suspect in a double murder killed himself Saturday as Richmond County authorities surrounded his hotel. Tarrez Latrell Booker, 26, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead around 5 a.m. Saturday. Booker is suspected of killing 2 women and injuring a third. The victims of the double murder on Hammond Avenue were identified as Raven Michelle Tolbert, 27, and Mercedes Nora Shanice Gibson, 27. Both of the 2500 block of Hammond Avenue. A third female was shot and transported to the hospital and is expected to survive, said Sergeant William McCarty, public information officer. There were several children inside the residence when the incident occurred, but they were unharmed, the sergeant said. So thank God that those children were not unharmed. We know that these super gremlins are not above taking the lives of children as well. So, you know, it's a traumatic thing for these children to go through, and this is the cycle that keeps perpetuating itself of black people just having trauma, like literally seeing real deal murder stuff on the daily. It definitely can affect your behavior growing up, especially if you're seeing that as a young child. During the course of the investigation, a suspect was identified and a search conducted around 3 a.m. Saturday. Investigators tracked the suspect to a room at Gordon Inn and Suites at 906 Molly Pond Road. As investigators and deputies arrived to the scene and approached the room, a single gunshot was heard coming from inside the room. Sergeant McCarty said the SWAT team responded to the scene and made entry to find the suspect deceased from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. So, you know, shout out to this SWAT team because they're out here tracking these super gremlins down, and you know, they hear a gunshot. They don't know what happened. You know, they don't know if he was shooting at them or he shot himself, but they enter the building anyway, going toward the gunfire, and they find him pass away. The Augusta community is mourning after 2 friends were killed. The victims were each shot at least one time and pronounced dead on the scene around 7:30 p.m. Coroner Mark Bowen said. The sheriff's office says deputies responded to the residence and located 2 victims who were dead on the scene from gunshot wounds. Booker spent a decade in prison for an armed robbery he committed as a 16-year-old. He was released last March and quickly found his way back into the criminal world. 3 months later, the felon was found dealing drugs, carrying a gun, driving recklessly, and being involved in gang activity. He reportedly was involved with the LOE gang, the same group being linked to the Aubrey Anthony murder. Wow, okay. So these dudes are getting swept up. He was released from jail within weeks and was subsequently arrested in August on an order for arrest. Booker was later released in that case too. Wow. So he does 10 years, right? He does 10 years. He was released last March and then got caught up serving some dope, carrying a strap, and driving recklessly, also being associated with a gang in Augusta, local gang in Augusta. Connected to the Aubrey Anthony murder. And then he's released from jail after racking up all these charges. And this is South Georgia, y'all. This is what I'm telling y'all. The criminal justice system is not racist. If they were racist, this guy would have been doing 25 to life. Honestly, 3 strikes, you're out. Okay? But now he ends up crashing out. And killing these 2 beautiful young women. I don't know what type of relationship they had together. I wish that these sisters would stop dealing with these super gremlins. But, you know, I don't want to blame them for their untimely demise. It's obviously his fault. But there's nothing glamorous about chasing Pookie and Ray Ray sisters. There's nothing glamorous about dealing with a guy who's been down for 10 years. A lot of these guys reoffend. The recidivism rate is 85%. So the likelihood of a guy that, like, I hear a lot of women on social media saying, oh, I want to deal with a killer. I want to deal with this. I want to deal with that. We've seen Asia Doll say she don't want to deal with nobody unless he has more than 3 bodies. So I want to deal with a scammer. I want to deal with a drug dealer. I want to deal with this guy. Okay, so if you want to deal with those guys, just understand that they are most likely going to reoffend. And you can't control what that reoffense is. You cannot control how he crashes out. He is going to inevitably crash out. You cannot control that. A super gremlin is going to do what a super gremlin is going to do. Okay? Understand. Or overstand, rather. So we've got a little more information on these 2 women, and whew, it's tough, man. It's tough. The Augusta community is mourning after 2 friends were killed in a domestic double murder on Friday night. Raven Michelle Tolbert, 27 of Hammond Avenue, and Mercedes Nora Shanice Gibson, 27 of Augusta, were each shot at least one time and pronounced dead on the scene around 7:30 p.m. The sheriff's office says deputies responded to the residence and located the victims who were deceased on the scene from gunshot wounds. A 3rd victim was found shot and was transported to Augusta University Medical Center. Condition is unknown. Wow, so he ended up shooting 3 people. The sheriff's press release says the incident is believed to be domestic related. There is no suspect information at this time, the RCSO release says. Several posts have honored the 2 victims and hinted at the killer. Okay. R.I.P. Mercedes Gibson and Ray Michelle, young mothers gone too soon. This is a post on Facebook, it appears. This breaks my heart so bad. I hate this. R.I.P. babies. Ray Michelle, Mercedes Gibson. I'm praying for y'all, man. Jazz, Mia, Roddy, Jay, Casey. Oh, I love you so much. I guess somebody got tagged, or the women got tagged. I wonder, or I would never take my kid's mother from them. I don't give a F what she do or done. Be careful who you fall in love with. Yeah, so it sounds like they were definitely involved, because mental health is real within the black community. This is proof of this. Crazy behavior has become the norm, and it's sickening. It's destroying us as a whole. I don't like when these women give these super gremlins the mental health excuse. Obviously, he's deranged in the head. He's sick in the head. But we've got to come up with something better to say, because the solution that they always present for mental health issues is, let's get some social workers to respond to these things. And these super gremlins don't care. They will kill a social worker. They'll kill anybody who responds to them. They'll kill a nurse who responds to the scene. This is what these super gremlins do. And unless you put your foot on their necks, unless you show them that the criminal justice system has teeth, so that a guy who has done 10 years for robbery and then reoffends is not back out on the streets shortly thereafter because they don't want the jails to be filled because of the CV. They don't want people spreading the sickness in the jails, so they just have to, send the criminals back out on the street. No, that's not a valid excuse. That's not a valid excuse to give when you got 2 black women who were killed senselessly for no reason. So, this is a wake-up call. I think that if you see these videos, share them, comment on them, push them in the algorithm, because we need to let it be known that there's a war going on outside. No man or women or children is safe from. You can run, but you can't have forever. I don't even want to go into the whole spiel, but y'all know what I'm talking about. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.